Each golfer that tees off in this year's PGA Championship has a dream of hoisting the Wanamaker Trophy. But those dreams pale in comparison to the dream and vision it took to make this course a reality.
The way things fell in place is quite amazing. Dwight Gahm and his family owned the land, but Jack Nicklaus brought it to life.
You can't miss it. Greeting golfers just off the 18th green, a life-size statue of founder Dwight Gahm and golfing legend Jack Nicklaus. Forever surveying, forever linked as men of vision, passion, and persistence. Together, they built a dream known as Valhalla.
Well, I think what the PGA did here with the statue of Dad Jack, I think that's something special. And then, you know, it kind of reminds me as I walk past it sometimes that, you know, wow. You know.
Dwight Gahm made his money making kitchen cabinets. He built a legacy creating a world-class golf course. I had the pleasure of seeing the twinkle in his eye in 1996 when Valhalla hosted its first PGA Championship. Talk about pride.
Does that make you feel good?
No, man, right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm numb, I think. I don't think I have much feeling right now because this thing's so much greater and larger than anything we ever envisioned.
The story of Valhalla is one of fate as much as anything. Dwight Gahm bought the land in 3 phases. It was originally home to quarter horses, which roamed the land then called Big Ten Farm. Named so because Dwight was an All-American football player, a linebacker at IU in the late 30s, early 40s. His son Walt played football for Purdue, both Big Ten schools. The Gahms had plans for Big Ten Farm, and it didn't involve championship golf. But things would change thanks to a lawsuit with LG&E over utility access.
LG&E killed all that when they wanted to they took some more land and went through a lawsuit and we lost. So then we decided, but in that planned unit development was a little Mickey Mouse par 63 golf course that filled the lowlands. And so one rainy day, I've told this story a lot, one rainy day the old man said, we're sitting on a Saturday, or a rainy day we couldn't play golf, and he said, what do you want to do with that land? He said, how about us build a golf course? I said, well, sure, I got all excited about that, and I guess that little par 63 on a piece of paper kind of made him think about that. So that's the way it all started, and we said, sure, let's build it. My brother said, my brothers agreed, yeah, that's a great, golf course is great. So we went on from there. So.
From there, it took another stroke of luck to get Jack Nicklaus on board, and it involved NFL Hall of Fame quarterback Bob Greasy. Remember earlier I said Walt played football at Purdue?
Bob and I have been friends. We were roommates in college. We were friends, and he was down playing for Miami. When this idea came through, we decided, you know, who do we want to design the golf course? And the big names at that point in time was George Fazio, Robert Trent Jones, and Jack Nicklaus. Well, the old man said, Jack, it's got to be Jack. So how do you get a hold of Jack? So I knew Bob was, and we conversed, and I called him and I said, you know, how about this golf course? He says, well, I'm announcing on the first tee at Doral for the Pro-Am, and I might see Jack. So Bob was announcing on the first tee the players and the Pro-Am on a Wednesday, and he got Jack to the side. He said, I got some guys that want to build a golf course. Jack said, oh, I'll call him. I'll tell him to call me. So he said, Bob told him, no, I'm serious. They are really serious. They want it. So he set up a phone call, and Jack called me the next day at 1 o'clock or whatever, and I was stuttering, and here's Jack Nicklaus calling, and so that, So, but anyway, that's the way it all started, and then we got to where we are.
So the Gahms had a $6 million course designed by a legend. But oddly enough, it took a complete stranger on a chance meeting to name it.
The name Valhalla came. It was kind of funny. We went down to Shoal Creek to play golf, and Hall Thompson, who owned the property, owned the golf course, he had somebody pick us up at the airport. It's guy picks us up, and the guy said, I understand y'all building a golf course. And we said, yeah. He said, you know what you ought to name it? You ought to name it Valhalla. Well, it went through our ears, and you know, we just forgot about it. And then it came time to name the property, to name the course. And for some reason, one of my brothers said, oh, how about Valhalla? And this was years, 4 or 5 years later, that driver told us about. And I says, what's it mean? So as my one brother tells, you know, we didn't know what it meant, and he was the only one who knew where the library was, so he looked it up, and it was in Greek mythology, the resting place of gallant warriors, and it seemed appropriate, so that's what we got.
Beautiful, where that creek just sneaks up.
Yes.
Walt Gahm still rides around this beautiful piece of land, no longer on a horse, but in a golf cart.
Oh my God.
He nailed it.
Oh, a TV performance. Are you kidding me?
Wow. That was under pressure.
And the one handicapper's over in the creek looking for balls.
He's watched the legacy of his father's dream make a magical turn to greatness, and it makes him smile from ear to ear.
You know, you have to look up to what he's done in his visions and the reality of those visions. We're sitting in it, so we're sitting in the reality of his dreams.
We dreamed it. You betcha we dreamed it. But we didn't know whether it was going to ever happen or not. But I'll tell you, it's so exciting.
What a unique story and great family. There's more to come on Valhalla, the legacy continues.